Welcome back to The Lead. I want to get right to Wolf Blitzer. He is standing by with the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton. Wolf?
Jim, thanks very much. Madam Secretary, thanks very much to you for joining us. Let me start with the deadly police ambush in Dallas overnight, the deadliest day for police officers here in the United States since 9/11. What would you do as President of the United States to prevent this from happening again?
Well, first, Wolf, I've expressed my deep condolences and concerns to officials in Dallas and in the region there, including the county judge, the mayor, the police chief, because this is an absolutely horrific event. I also want us to remember that just 24 hours before, we had a killing with the loss of life in Baton Rouge, in Minneapolis, and right before talking with you, it appears we had an additional event in Tennessee. This is deeply troubling, and it should worry every single American. You know, we've got to do much more to listen to one another, respect each other. We've got to do everything possible to, support our police and support innocent Americans who have deadly encounters with the police. This is the kind of call to action, and as president, I would implement the very comprehensive set of proposals that I've been making for more than a year, including we must do more to have national guidelines about the use of force by police, especially deadly force. We need to do more to look into implicit bias, and we need to do more to respect and protect our police. Look at what happened in Dallas. Those police officers were protecting a peaceful protest, a protest of authority. That is a hallmark of America. And when the shooting started and everyone else was fleeing, the police were moving toward danger. So let's start understanding, putting ourselves in each other's shoes again, and really coming together as Americans to end this kind of terrible violence.
Madam Secretary, how would you bridge the divide between police officers who now feel targeted and African Americans who also feel they are targets?
Well, I think that's the most important question, Wolf, because we've got to do a lot more to bring the police together with the communities that they protect. And we have to have better lines of communication. As I said, we need national guidelines to really set out when force should be used, and especially when deadly force should be used. Some police departments have really taken that to heart. They've done an excellent job over the last years trying to figure out how to prevent any situation from escalating into the use of force. And at the same time, we need communities to feel that they can trust the police, that the police are trying to protect them. And that's going to take a lot more communication, a lot more bridge building. It's going to take a lot of training on the part of our police officers to get back into the communities, to understand what's happening in neighborhoods. I thought we were on the right track. Somehow we have veered off of it in recent years. I've met with so many family members of those who have been killed in encounters. I've certainly talked with police officers' families who also have been killed in encounters. And we just have to make up our minds that we're going to bring our country together. This is much deeper even than these terrible killings. We've got to start once again respecting and treating each other with the dignity that every person deserves.
Madam Secretary, the violence in Dallas, as you know, followed that fatal shooting by police a day earlier of a black man, Philando Castile, during a routine traffic stop in Minnesota. The governor there said that if the people in that car had been white, that wouldn't have happened. Do you agree with him?
Well, I know the governor called for a Justice Department investigation, and I absolutely support that. We've got to figure out what is happening when routine traffic stops, when routine arrests escalate into killings. And I think that we know all the answers for that, Wolf. clearly there seems to be a terrible disconnect between many police departments and officers
but do you
and
agree
the
with the
people they are
governor,
trying
Madam
to
Secretary?
protect.
Do you agree with the governor when he said if those people had been white, they would not, he would not have been shot?
Well, I think we'll have to find where the evidence leads us, but the facts are clear, and the governor knows those facts, that too many African Americans have been killed in encounters with police over matters that should not have led to that action being taken. That's why, again, I reiterate a call for national guidelines. We have 18,000 police departments. Some of them are very small. Some of them are not very well trained. Some of them, don't really have the resources that are necessary to keep training and retraining. And frankly, Wolf, to go after systemic racism, which is a reality, and to go after implicit bias.
Here's the fundamental question, critically important right now. Why do you believe you would be better suited at handling the racial divide in America than Donald Trump?
Well, I can only speak for myself. I have been involved in working to try to close the racial divide my entire adult life. I've worked on issues of criminal justice reform, incarceration, juvenile justice for many decades. And I'm heartbroken that we have to keep repeating and doing that work year after year, but I am determined and I am persistent. And I will call for white people like myself to put ourselves in the shoes of those African American families who fear every time their children go somewhere. To have the talk about how to really protect themselves when they're the ones who should be expecting protection from encounters with the police. I'm going to be talking to white people. I think we're the ones who have to start listening to the legitimate cries that are coming from our African American fellow citizens. And we have so much more to be done, and we've got to get about the business of doing it. We can't be engaging in hateful rhetoric or incitement of violence. We need to be bringing people together, and I've said on the campaign trail repeatedly, we need more love and kindness, and I know that's not usually what presidential candidates say, but I believe it, and I'm going to be speaking about it from now all the way into the White House and beyond.
Let me turn to the sensitive issue